Today, I want to share with you something about debunking myths. Kinda. So, have you had situations where you could not understand what was happening, or you could not process what was happening, and that ends up becoming like an emotional roller coaster for you? So it could be anything. It could be issues relating to people. It could be issues relating to yourself that you find it hard to put into words. Now, what I've realized is emotions are very strong. If you don't know how to manage your emotions well, they can either make you or break you. So for myself, I respond to emotions, and I respond with emotions quite well. So if we had like a graph that is between emotions and logic, I would think that I am probably a little closer to the emotions than the logic bit. So the problem with being more emotion driven is that emotions connect me to people. That is a great strength. However, when left unbalanced and unmanaged, emotions can overtake me, and often I might have this up and down roller coaster feeling. And I know I'm not the only one. When I speak to you, though you may be very high on the logic side, there's also a part of you that is emotion driven. Now, a few years ago, I met a guy who is extremely logic driven. He's a good person. But as I began to talk to him through the weeks, I discovered that he refuses to deal with his emotions totally. So he forces himself to be on the logic side of things, and he doesn't allow emotions to touch him at all. Which is very sad. Which is very, very sad, because this friend of mine is unable to feel happy. He is unable to feel sad, all because he doesn't want to. And I think that's very sad. That is one way of managing emotions, which I highly don't encourage. Now, God gave us emotions for a reason. Emotions, according to Tony, emotions are life, right? So if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, your emotions dictate how life pans out for you, or how life is for you at this moment. So it's very important to firstly understand that you have emotions and they are not all bad. And number two, the importance of managing emotions. Now I'm going to share with you a way that I deal with emotions. Emotions in your head, you know, when you have discussion or arguments with yourself, they may sound nice, but if you want to solve problems, then it's not valid. Why do I say this? When you're just arguing with yourself, when it's just you and your emotions spiraling in your head, there is no validation. However, if you can get a friend, talk to the friend, the same things that you're saying in your head, only difference is right now you speak it out to somebody, a friend, a mentor, a coach, and the more you speak it out, the more you realize that some things actually sound ridiculous. But if you keep it in your head, it sounds nice and rosy. However, the moment you speak it out, then you realize this is silly. So that's one way of dealing with emotions, is to get somebody to be your sounding board. Now, if in the case you don't have that option at this moment, I will resort to the second option, which is write it down. One way to defeat bad emotions is to turn them into logic. This step is easier said than done. So grab a pen and paper. Think about one question that is plaguing you, right? This is question that's driving you crazy, or a certain emotion that's driving you crazy. And as much as you can, turn that into logic. So we're going to go from this way, this feeling, we're going to switch it over to the thinking part. What we want to do is to convert the emotion into logic. Like I said, easier said than done. So I'm trying to think of an example simple enough for you to follow. Example. Okay, simple example could be, what should I have for breakfast? In your head, you're like, oh, I like to eat bak kut teh for breakfast. I know it's not healthy, but I like it because it's so yummy. Then there's the argument on the other side of the head that says, no, you should eat fruits and vegetables because they are healthy for you. And you have this whole debate or argument going on. Talk to somebody, speak it out, or write it down. Do a pros and cons list, and you will realize that that will actually help you. Converting emotions into logic helps you make decisions. And the example I gave is a very simple example. You can use this exercise into many parts of your decision making, or mostly we want to end the emotion wrestling inside you. Now, I cannot speak on behalf of men, but women, you know this very well. We are emotional creatures, undeniable. We feel things a lot more than men. We use our heart a lot more than men. And men will not be able to understand the dilly-dallying or the dilemma that goes in our heads and in our hearts. And one of the ways that I use to align what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling is to always put it on paper. The moment I have it in black and white, it's no longer emotions, it's no longer pish posh. Once I have it in black and white, I'm affirming what I say in black and white. And whatever situation is plaguing you, whether you're having relationship problems, you're having debates about whether your husband should do the dishes, whether your husband should help you take care of the children, whether you should go for that promotion at work and you'll take you away from your children. Whatever debate you're having right now in your head that is very, very tied to emotions, I would strongly encourage you to put it down on paper, black and white. One black and white way that works is list down pros and cons. Now, when you list these down, it forces you to think, it forces you to come up with a conclusion, and therefore you cannot be gray. See, like where I'm standing now, you have to make a decision whether it's here or there. And so that is how I convert my emotions into logic. And the whole point of doing that is so that I get clarity of what's happening around me, and it forces me to make a smart decision. If I make decisions based on the things that are happening in my head, there is a very high chance that I'll make decisions that are not the best. So one way to isolate that and eliminate the whole gray area is to write it down. So if you're not sure what to do when your emotions are overtaking you with a certain problem that you have, speak to somebody. Literally, use your mouth, speak out the problems. And secondly is to convert that to logic by listing down what exactly the issue is. And I hope that would help you in many areas of your life.